Welcome, young mage. I'm Rhino, and we're going to be talking about a wizard deck. It's got lots of counter spells, lots of burn, and before we get into it, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't, and you can see all of the future decks in the future. and we're starting right now. So we got a list of decks, and we got like Golgari, and we got Izzet decks. We got a whole bunch of decks, and we can't wait to build them. And this is the Izzet Really Wizard deck. And so what we do to make decks is we look on Scryfall. I know all of the cards, but my dad doesn't. So. And then we put it onto the computer, and so that way we can see everything other than just laying it out. And then we sleeve up the cards. So then we play test it, yeah, we just play test it. If we like it, then yes. If we don't like it, then no. Then we change the cards, and that way, if we don't like it, then we just put in something better. And the first card is Ghitu Lavarunner. He has a 1-drop 1/2. As long as there are 2 more, then he gets buffed and he has haste. The really cool thing is he gets buffed and he's a 1-drop wizard. And next we got a Siren Stormtamer. This card is incredible. It is a 1-drop 1/1, and we generally do it for the control side, and plus it has flying. And up next, we got a Goblin Electromancer. This guy, he just gets your little bitty instant and sorcery spells, and then he gets them even littler. And plus, he's a wizard, and I think every creature in the deck is a wizard. And one of my favorite cards in here is Adeliz in the Cinder Wind. She has flying and haste, and whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, all of your wizards get +1/+1. So that is an incredible anthem effect, and that includes her. And she has flying and haste. That's what I really like about this card. And next we got Dragonauts. This is fairies are fairy wizards, and I'm amazed that fairies are back. Whenever an instant sorcery spell you cast, it gets buffed, and that is really cool, and it has flying, so you can play multiple instant sorcery spells, and this guy can get up to like a 6 power, which is amazing. And next we got Arclight Phoenix. I didn't get to play this card, but I think it will be amazing. It has flying and has haste. And when at the beginning of combat on your turn, if you cast 3 or more instant sorcery spells, you get to return it to the battlefield. So you can still attack with it even though it's in your graveyard. And next we got Opt. Opt is at the top of the list, and you just get to scry 1, draw a card, and you can plus do it on the end of their turn. And it's kind of like a free draw. Now we got the no-brainer Shock. Shock is just deal 2 damage to any target. You can deal it to planeswalkers, you can deal it to creatures, you can deal it to anything, as long as it doesn't have hexproof. And now, the greatest of counter spells, Syncopate. You can counter a spell, and if they tap all out, then you can just do it for 1, and then they get to exile it. And this is gonna be really cool, countering anything. And now, radical idea. Oh, I just thought of that. So you get to draw a card, and plus you can play it from your graveyard. That's really cool. And it's a 2-drop. If you got a Goblin Electromancer, then you can play it for 1. That's really cool. And plus it's an instant speed. Okay. This is a really cool counter spell. It is Ionize. It is a 3-drop, okay. And you can counter target spell, and it deals 2 damage. That is a really good counter spell, and you can shock it. Shock it to the controller. And we got a risk factor. I really like this card. This is a choice card, so it's kind of like dealing 2 shocks to their face, or you can let them draw 3 cards. Well, let you draw 3 cards. And plus it has Jumpstart. I really like this card, and it is going to be amazing in both standard, draft, all around. Oh, one thing that I thought of about risk factor is you can just hit them, and when they're at low life, then they probably don't want to take 4 damage. Okay, so this is a Wizard's Lightning. This is a Lightning Strike. Not Lightning Strike, Lightning Bolt. Yeah, Lightning Bolt. So you're going to be playing it for 1 constantly, because all of your creatures are wizards. And if they're down to 3 life, poof, goodbye. And up next we got Wizard's Retort. This is a counterspell no matter what. Well, as long as you don't have a wizard. And so you just counter anything. And yeah. This card is just really cool. This card is Izzet Viceroy. So you can look at the top 2 and put one of them into your hand and the others into your graveyard. So you can put Jumpstart cards into your graveyard, and then you can play it. So it's kind of like your graveyard's your hand, sorta. And then you can Izzet Viceroy deals damage to target creature equal to the number of instant sorceries you own in exile and in your graveyard. This card is amazing, I guess. And then you get an emblem with whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell, this emblem deals 4 damage to any target, and you get to draw 2 cards. The emblem is the mega version of Rao. So you can play like a opt, and then you take then your opponent takes 4 damage, and then you get to draw 2 cards. That is amazing. So we got 24 lands in here, and we for mana fixing we got Izzet Guildgate. yeah, it's a little slow, but it's better than having basics. So would you rather have Izzet Guildgate or stuck on one color? So now, I really like this card, Steam Vents. When there's battlefield, you can pay 2 life, otherwise it gets tapped. If you need the mana, then you can shock yourself, but if you don't, then you can just get in the battlefield tapped. Okay, so this is another card from Dominaria, Sulfur Falls. So most of the time it's gonna come onto the battlefield because you're gonna have like Steam Vents, Mountain, Island, that sort of stuff. And it taps for red and blue. That's it. Okay, next on to the sideboard, we got Lead Guild Mage. So you can do 4, draw a card, okay, and then you can do 1x, copy target instant or sorcery spell you control with converting mana cost X. You may choose new targets for the copy. So it's kind of like a double cast, but you can do it X. So yeah, it's a 2-drop wizard, and it helps you draw cards. Next, we got Ravnica Pyromancer. This is a 2-drop 2/1, and it's kind of like a shock, but to a player or planeswalker. So you can just deal 2 damage to anything, and then boom, it's a wizard. Okay, so you might think, really? Murmuring Mystic, yeah. It's basically a big wall, and whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you get a bird. And the birds have flying, so all's good. So now you might think, really? They've missed it in the sideboard? Yeah, because it might not be good against like Boros decks, very fast decks, but against demure decks, like with lots of like essence scatters, counter spells, that sort of stuff, it can't be countered. So you can bring it out. I don't want to counter it. Sorry, you can't. And it's a big pinger. So next up we got Essence Scatter. So it is a 2-drop, sort of like counterspell. and you can counter a creature spell, and this card is going to be very interesting in Standard. And next we got Negate. So Negate, you can counter their big spells, like their planeswalkers and all that great stuff. So, well, what did you think of the deck? Tell us in the comments below. What would you change or fiddle around with? And got some things here and here. Thumbs up, thumbs down, comments. I have more videos coming out soon. So until then, Rhino out. Okay, one more time.